Hey community, welcome to this pick-a-card reading. My name is Alina and this is Angel's Cup Tarot. Today we're going to be looking at what urgent message you need to know right now. We have 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. You can pause the video if you need some time to pick and choose a pile. I'll leave the timestamps in the description box down below so you can click directly to your reading. And as always, let's begin. Hi pile 1, if you chose this deck or this crystal, and this is your reading. And before we begin, I am so grateful that you've chosen to join me for this reading. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me create more content that resonates with you. By liking this video, you can also help other people discover this reading and receive the guidance that they may need. So if you enjoyed this reading, please take a moment to like it and share it with others who may benefit from it. To grow our community, it's the easiest way to support our community and my work. Thank you again for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Pile 1, what urgent message do you need to know right now? For your tarot, we have Queen of Earth, gracious, practical, capable, and transformation, realization, life change, liberation. And then the 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay. The 6 of Wands upright. Love to see that. And see how like you have the 10 and the 6 of Wands, and then you have the number 16. Interesting. And then the 4 of Air in reverse, which is the 4 of Swords in reverse, and it says meditation, recuperation, contemplation in reverse. And then the 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay. Ace of Fire upright, Ace of Wands, opportunity, creativity, action. In clarifying that, we have the 3 of Wands. A lot of fire energy. And then 2 of Earth, balance, prioritization, playfulness. And then the 8 of Cups in reverse. And for your golden ticket, we have the High Priestess upright. So 2 and 2. What are we seeing? Pile 1. Very interesting message we get here. So with this Queen of Earth first. So Spirit's essentially telling you what you need to know right now is that you got all of the essential ingredients you need in order to be successful in whatever endeavor you choose right now. And this is a time where I feel as though something's holding you back. Something is making you not as confident as you could be by your level of competence. Like you already have what it takes to tackle this transformation process into achieving and receiving what it is that you want. But I see someone who is maybe holding back, and this is due to past hurt and griefs. And I see someone that is overly cautious around certain things they want to tackle or they want to do, and it's giving this energy of trying to get it perfect in order to start somewhere. And Spirit saying you don't have to get it perfect, or you don't have to overextend yourself to a certain degree. You already got what it takes, and it is prioritizing what's actually important, and you already know how to do that. You know how to listen to your intuition and how to tap into a state of internal knowing in order to get things going. And once you do that, things will start moving very quickly. And this is such an important process that you're undergoing right now, and there's so much guidance, so you don't have to meditate on every decision that you make. You don't have to recuperate every other minute in order to get it right. So it's more so a very active process we see going on right now. And what's really standing out here is how this transformation, which is usually the Tower, but in this deck it's not. In this deck it's being guided to a new path. What was like the past needs to break down, but it's not this transformation process as we see in the original depiction of the Tower. This is a different transformation process. This is out with the old, in with the new. This is, I think that's the Moonology deck. That's one card from the Moonology deck. And this is giving balance, practicality, and spirituality. which we also see with the High Priestess, and you got many cards that are very much hands-on. And it's really not about getting it perfect, getting it right the first time around. Those spirits saying that's going to be the outcome either way. Like you already got what it takes to succeed. And I think right now you're in the midst of great change and it feels scary. And that's why you're holding back. And it is giving me this energy of, in the past, you had to get to that stage of embodying the Queen of Earth, embodying someone who is very mature and very grounded, and you had to constantly ground yourself. And that process needed I would say quite a bit of meditation and quite a bit of recuperation in order to get it right in the past, because it was more of a starter energy. And due to always practicing, you almost gotten so used to practicing that you never feel like you're ready. You never feel like you're here to have it all and to be worth it. So you feel like, or let's say you had so many lessons in life, maybe even around matters of the heart. We see here with the Three of Swords depicted, so that you feel like, if I get something started now, it's just going to be another lesson for me. It's not going to be nourishing. It's not going to get me the outcome I want. So I might as well continue practicing and do the inner work. And Spirit's saying the level of skill that is needed to tackle what's in front of you right now is already sufficiently achieved by you, with the Six of Wands and the 10 of Wands in reverse. So the 10 of Wands in reverse and as a clarifier for the Queen of Earth is reminding me of something I do. And what I do sometimes is that I overcomplicate things. So instead of reaping the rewards of a skill set that I've learned, I add a different layer of complexity right the second I mastered something. And I always do that somewhat. Like I just sometimes, like even with pick-a-card readings, like I will do extreme complex patterns and I already know whilst shuffling, and Spirit's like, why don't you just stick to the basics? And I even had a dream about that one. I had a dream where I thought I was at the Tarot Olympics. That was a thing. And I'm gonna spare you the details of that one. But I was so concerned, and then I ended up thinking that the rules were that you could only take the original tarot deck and not take any new interpretations of the tarot. So I only took that, and everyone else took like everything else. And then I was so shocked when I learned that you can use everything. And then I was like thinking in my dream, whilst getting started, I realized that if Spirit wants me to see something, I'm going to get the same message with the original tarot. I don't need the next thing. I don't need to get all complex. That's just, the outcome's going to be the same thing. Sometimes Spirit shows me the same messages over and over and over again, just by showing me different cards. And by that, I mean, sometimes you don't have to over analyze, and sometimes you don't have to get to the next level of complexity. Sometimes things are easy and you already have what it takes to get the right outcome. And I think for this pile, this is an issue of, or not an issue, it's more so not so much being in touch with what is needed in actuality, because you go back to your own requirements, but then you don't realize that that's more than enough by any set of standards. And see, this is reminding me of Earth and how nature has these processes of getting a set of outcome, and it's fixed, right? It's you do this and then that happens, and cause and effect, cause and effect. So you overcomplicate the cause to get a certain effect, but Spirit's saying actually you don't need to do that. And as much as I appreciate the effort, the extra effort, right now this isn't even about the extra effort to put in to the mix. It's more so self-sabotage, if that makes sense. Like you already got it. Something inside of you isn't fully aware that you already are capable and that you already deserve what you set out to do and what you trained to do or what you wanted to achieve. You're already more than capable. That's what Spirit's telling us, which is beautiful. I mean, And I think it's a shift of perception when it comes to you, that you're already capable and there's a great opportunity lying ahead, and what is needed right now is action. And that's beautiful. You already did the work that was necessary in order to get things moving, get things going. And this right now is a process of stabilizing what you learned in your reality, if that makes sense. And it is also letting go of overanalyzing the past, because I want to say future you, but it's more so already present you with the Six of Wands in front of that. That's already not your reality any longer. It's just realizing that it's not, and just allowing yourself to stop doing that right now, and allowing yourself to start. And I think you're more than capable of starting, and you're more than capable of action. It's just, I think it just took a level of analyzing in the first place, and now you've gotten stuck in, and it's not even a real stuck mode, I see. It's more so feeling obligated to still do more of that work, to do further grounding, to do further analyzing, because you notice how important it is to succeed. And right now it's just more so like a time to act on what you already learned. Yeah. And with the Three of Wands, this is also interesting, especially clarifying the Ace of Fire. This is also saying, the Ace of Fire and the depiction of the Ace of Fire is saying that Spirit's got your back with the executive part here. Whatever actions you need to take, Spirit's got your back, and you're guided whilst doing so. And you were guided to this next chapter of your life as well. But it's also talking about, again, you already got what it takes, but it's talking about something that's more exciting to me, and it's the Three of Wands here, we see, and the Eight of Cups in reverse. Spirit's also giving you a heads up and wanting to remind you that your ability to expand is here and now already. Like, you already got the opportunity right here and right now, and you don't have to go the distance, but you will eventually. And that doesn't make sense, but let's say, like, I'm a tarot reader, and I think because I live wherever, I cannot do tarot readings for people around the globe, but I can, because I can use the internet, so I can expand without leaving a certain location or a certain place. And this is the exact same we see here being depicted. It's, you don't even have to leave where you're at. You don't have to completely abandon a location or a belief system in order to get it right, and in order to expand, and in order to reach new horizons. And it's not about knowing every little detail of where you're headed. It's more so realizing that you'll get there eventually, but what you need to do right now is start and get more movement into the mix, get more of that fresh, wanting to reach new heights mindset, and wanting to, expand, maybe even expand beyond the vision you once had. But that's not going to be a process of meditating over it or of stillness. It's definitely not coming from a process of stillness. The actions that need to be taken right now will allow you to then further expand your vision as well for whatever project you got going on. And it doesn't even have to be a project with the Three of Swords we see here. It could also be that you're trying to have the relationship of your dreams, trying to, whatever achievement you're trying to tackle right now is what this is talking about, and the way to go about things. But this is very general, so it's just talking about certain aspects of going about things that the Spirit wants to remind you of in order for you to move forward and to make this transition process go over more smoothly. And Spirit's also congratulating you with the Six of Wands. You got what it takes to already shine for the work that you do. That's essentially what we see. And with the High Priestess and the Two of Pentacles, very beautiful depiction. All the intuitive notions will come along the way. They do not need this recuperation process or meditation over certain things. And I'm not saying meditation is bad, or it's just a different aspect. And that's like, meditation leads to grounding, mostly grounding yourself in a state. And Spirit saying the state, you already achieved that, the state you wanted to achieve. So the grounding process, you did a very good job in grounding yourself. And I think you don't give yourself enough credit for that. So you overcomplicate things when taking action, and that sometimes leads to an action because you feel like it's too complicated. You don't have what it takes. You cannot see yourself doing that because it's so complicated, and then you overcomplicate it. And Spirit's saying use the easy road, and then once you're on that journey, you can tackle what's next. But that will come up naturally. It's reminding me of this general saying that when you watch anyone who's very successful in life and then ask them, if you had known then what you know now, how would that have like transformed the business or whatever? And then everyone always says like they had like no idea what it took, or it was just, they went like step by step and then everything unraveled. And I think that's just how it goes, and that's just what it is, like taking it step by step and tackling things once they appear, and not needing to mentally already tackle 10 steps ahead because you feel like it's not coming from a place of wanting an action. Definitely not. You do want this action. It is coming from a place of thinking that that is what's necessary right now because that was a skill set you needed to learn in the past, but you have it down to the T so that it doesn't even take this whole process anymore, that you incorporate it. It's way easier, and you already know that deep down. You know everything that could be easier right now. And if you don't, this is giving me this feeling of being pushed into the water, and I do not mean that in a mean way, but yeah, get out there, do it anyway. Even if you feel like you're not ready yet, you're not here yet, I think you've got what it takes. And Spirit's also reminding you that what you have right now are all the ingredients needed in order to perform whatever you wanted to achieve. And yeah, everything is already here. And if you feel like you don't have all the tools you need, Spirit's saying think again, because you do. And that may be literal tools, like maybe you have some friends where you can ask for help, or you already are in a position where everything you need at this moment is already given. It's already there. It's just becoming aware. But Spirit's saying you can become aware mostly by expanding your horizon, by doing right now. And I also believe that you'll expand way beyond what you thought was possible, or what you came up with when you were in this grounding and meditating state before. And it may be that that becomes necessary in the future again, but right now that's definitely not the case. So yeah, I love to see that. It's such an exciting reading because I feel as though someone is just at the edge of achieving something very great, and can't wait to see that, pile number 1. And yeah, also with the Two of Earth, you being called to prioritize, to bring balance. This is also giving me this notion of it being way easier then. And I can give you an example because I cannot really tackle what it is specifically for you right now, but I'm going to give you an example when it comes to what I sometimes do. When it comes to my spirituality, I sometimes have this list of things I do want to do. So that will not fit into my schedule. And instead of doing everything, I sometimes end up doing nothing. Or sometimes I do like a lot of planning and then it is way too much for me, and it's overwhelming. So I end up doing none of it and I just do something else, or I only do something practical. And Spirit's saying feel into it by doing what feels intuitively right to you, what is asked of you right now. And I think you have this good relationship or this good connection, and you practiced around your intuition. So you already know what's asked in the given moment. So let's say to further my analogy, I feel like I need 10 minutes of journaling. So I only do 10 minutes of journaling that day, and I don't do whatever other practical things I got going on in terms of like my spirituality that day. But I felt intuitively that was the most important thing for me to do that day. The next day I might be doing some shadow work because I feel like certain things come up, and it's more so not having to do it all, or not having to follow this rigid and overpacked schedule, but rather really intuitively being truthful to oneself. Do you need all of that? Is that truly all that you need. And this is reminding me of, let's say you have a picture and you're trying to fit 10,000 things onto it. That's going to be so much work, and obviously you're going to be like, wow, I'm never going to get that done. When in reality, you could draw the perfect picture and you already intuitively know what you want to draw, and it's just one thing you want to draw. And that is a massive success. But instead, what you do is contemplate over how you're going to fit like 100,000 things onto one picture, the work of a lifetime, when it could be so easy and so beneficial, and it's actually the work that you want to do. But you feel like it needs to be super complex in order to reach certain things. And that could be due to being taught that certain things are extremely complex. And I think that's sometimes what happens like in school or like education of any type. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Pile number 1. It was such a pleasure to read, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and if it did resonate, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Hi Pile 2, if you chose this deck or this amethyst crystal, then this is your reading. And before we begin, I am so grateful that you've chosen to join me for this reading. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me create more content that resonates with you. By liking this video, you can also help other people discover this reading and receive the guidance that they may need. So if you enjoy this reading, please take a moment to like it and share it with others who may benefit from it. To grow our community, it's the easiest way to support our community and my work. Thank you again for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Pile 2, what urgent message do you need to hear right now? For your tarot, we have the 8 of Pentacles upright. We have the Queen of Pentacles upright. We have the Wheel of Fortune upright. 4 of Wands in reverse. The Fool upright. Interesting. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse. Okay. The King of Wands upright. The King of Pentacles upright. The Moon in reverse, and the 2 of Cups. Lovely. The Star upright, and bottom of the deck energy was the Ace of Wands upright. So first off, I'm seeing you protect your energy by going back to the drawing board and participate in work that feels meaningful to you and that gets you further to where you're trying to be at. I would say that right now is a crucial time where you feel like sometimes unnecessary drama occurs and you are trying to protect your peace. And Spirit's saying you do that by standing in your power, and you stand in your power and protect what's important to you by, literally with this 8 of Pentacles, go back to what you like to work on most and what gives you a sense of feeling that life is meaningful and that life has a purpose and just something that makes you sparkle and something that just gives you purpose, gives you drive. And by stepping into that energy, you represent a certain vibration that attracts alike. So if you always go back to the drawing board and just do what you love most and are in that process and fully embark on your journey, then you're naturally going to attract alike, and you're going to be naturally protected from lower frequencies, if that makes sense, and from drama. And it's not so much so as actively using this as a protecting mechanism, then it will just be this protecting mechanism. And I do not mean that in fear. And actually, I do want to get a clarify around that because it's not that clear to me, or maybe I'm not seeing it fully yet. What is this about, Spirit? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah, okay, so that's your... Okay. That is whenever you feel like you're not doing it, you are living out unnecessary drama, or you're living out unnecessary conflicts in your life, or you see patterns and situations that you don't want to regard yourself with, Spirit's saying it's up to you. It's the way you carry yourself by doing the most mundane things that you feel are necessary in order to get to the next level. And how do I explain this? So let's say I'm a writer, and what I love is writing. And instead of focusing on the roadblocks, instead of focusing on what I don't enjoy about the process of writing and fear almost this conflict of being in that stage and being in that moment, would then be to go back to the drawing board, go back to the actual action of writing, and just treat it as if you did it for the first time. And by that, I don't mean like pretend like you don't have the skill set. I mean, remember why you started. And I had that in a previous reading as well come up. But B, the drive and the flow state that you connect with that. And it's not what you initially connected with that, it's what you connect with that right now. What is that embodiment of someone who's getting ahead? And by someone, I don't mean like just someone out there, I mean specifically you. What would be your empowered version, the empowered version of you doing that task? What would that look like? And then enjoying that in terms of the process. And when things come up that are interfering with that process, that you feel like are in between you and what you want in terms of what you're seeking to achieve, or I think it's not so much about just simply achieving something for this group. It's more so a way of living life, or it's just the mundane things, the everyday things, and which is super important because that's essentially your life, right? It's not this big, huge concept that you're trying to go after. That's what's life as well, because that's what gives us drive, essentially. But it's more so feeling that tingling sensation when you are doing something that you love, and feeling like you're actively pursuing something, you're growing, you're not growing in a sense of you needing to get to the next level, just something regarding your work or regarding how you approach things in your day-to-day life that can shift and change by you getting more into the flow state. So that's what we're seeing with the Wheel of Fortune, and that will prevent a lot of drama from occurring, and it's up to you. Spirit saying it's essentially up to you. Also, yeah, it's a state of focus as well. It's on focusing what you do have and what gives you stability and what brings you happiness and what brought you here already to the state of being able to work on the things that you're passionate about, or whatever makes you feel accomplished, and focus on that instead of focusing on what it is not, and the lack mentality in that state, like the downside to it. And I think in terms of what you don't want, you recently gotten much clearer on what it is that you don't want due to things being revealed that are unstable or that were never striving for commitment. And that could be like a person that you thought was gonna be there for the long term and just ended up not doing so. But that could also be concept, since this is a general reading. It doesn't have to be love related, though this could well be the case. But what I mostly see is that this Fool is looking at the Four of Wands in reverse, which is literally the representation of something not showing up stable and committed in your life. And the Moon in reverse is telling us that that was revealed. There was some light shown onto it. There was some revealing process in terms of that, especially with the Wands, the depictions of the Wands and the Four of Wands, and the Moon being all darkness here and depicted as all darkness but the Moon. So having this in reverse, something was revealed that was never gonna bring the stability you were seeking. But Spirit's telling us that there's a lot of like-minded people out there that are seeking for someone like you, because you fit right into that circle, if that makes sense. You fit right into that narrative, and you just sort of like seeking your soul family and them being revealed also. And this is this saying, like what you seek also seeks you. But this is especially true in your reading. I would say there are people that are quite well off in life that would kill to be friends with you. And I do not mean that literally, but you get the point. That would bring joy into your life, and you could enjoy more good company, and just the company of like-minded people and people that want to succeed in life just as much as you want it, or people that strive for the same things, people that have the same drive as you do, people that face similar challenges, people that are on the go for what will work instead of what won't. And with this challenge we had prior, I was talking about prior about not focusing on the drama or what you don't want in your life in terms of getting ahead, or just the quality of your day-to-day experience being upscaled by not focusing on that. It's not so much on that, about that. I don't see you being part of the problem when it comes to that. So I think with you, it's realizing that you also don't have to be, you can just decide not to engage in that. And we give our power away far too often. And I don't see you being powerless at all with this Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Someone who's very driven. And we have the Wheel of Fortune upright and in reverse. And this is, I would say that you're very hands-on. And I would also say that you're someone who is quite powerful in terms of writing a narrative and then living it out. I see you working with principles, and that could be literally, and what am I seeing here? Yeah, so that's probably because I was using this analogy with a writer, but I see someone being very hands-on with determining things. And for some of you, I get that you actually do something that involves a lot of writing, and for others of you, I get a science approach, which is using nature's code in order to transform things. It just seems super complex. Sorry if I get it wrong, but I also see that this has the potential to make you extremely wealthy if you're not already extremely wealthy, but there's like more wealth in store for you. But it's definitely about not focusing on the drama, because it doesn't seem like you're actually part of the problem. Maybe the part of the problem is just, you being part of the problem is just recognizing that you don't have to be, and that you don't have to associate with that, not associate with people that bring drama into your life, or situations that don't serve, or maybe it's just mindsets or how you frame certain things, how they could go down. It's when you go back to a mode of how you once dealt with something, that you can focus on growth the same way you once did, or maybe no, it's not the same way, because you did definitely upscale in terms of that, but in terms of your growth. But how do I get this right? It's simply not focusing on the scrutiny. It's focusing on the life right by your book, the actions you take right by your book, because I get that you're a good person, bottom line. And how you mute that and mute the scrutiny, which is like easier said than done if you're in it and if it affects your energetic field. And that's the thing, right? It affects your energetic field, and then you engage. And how you just shut that out and turn it down is by remembering your essence. And you remember your essence by everything I said prior, by focusing on your work like you once did, though probably this is not going to be the same thing, but what gives you drive now? Because there's always going to be something that gives you drive, that makes you want to expand, that makes you want to go the distance, that makes you have a vision for the future. Don't focus on other people's vision for your future. Focus on your vision for your future that is right by your book. And this isn't a general, so much of a general message. It's your message, because you're a good person and the world essentially needs more of you. And there's just people that see the same drama in everyone. And I think that's certainly something that is also affecting your energetic field, if that makes sense. Like, and not to unlock a fear. If this doesn't sound like your pile, then it's probably not. Might want to check out another one. Like, this is super specific, and I get like someone who is pretty powerful, and Spirit's just saying it's easy. And it's easier said than done. But in terms of this, it's recognizing that you have the choice, and people still can't force you, even if you're executing on whatever level you're executing on. It's still your choice. Even if you feel like people are heavily affecting your choices and the way you make them. Life still unfolds due to your choices. If that makes sense, like, I don't know what I'm talking about right now at this point, but this is what I see. This is what this is giving me. And it's so important that you listen to this and that you hear this and think about that, in that your thinking process just is clarified by that a little, and this is like the grounding process to that, and you'll probably do it better service even internally. I think you do not know what I'm talking about, and yeah, if you don't, then that's absolutely not your pile. But I would say that it's just Spirit's showing us your ability to transform something on a greater scale, and like it's just giving greater scheme of things. So even if you think like it's not as important, but it's important that you don't only make those choices not to listen to the drama and not to I'm just talking about the Fool and the Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups, which is harmony and the feeling of joy and harmony, and the Star, essentially, because I think you play a very crucial role somewhat for the future. And even if that's just energetically, but you do. And I would say for most of you, no, that's not just energetically, because we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. You serve a very important purpose, and the light just hit that part of the reading. See how like it is just illuminated by my window that's like behind me. So yeah, now it's gone. But yeah, it's super important what you make out of it, and that you are optimistic about the future, and that you make the choice to not play into that narrative any longer and treat it as just an opinion. And it's not right in your book, so you get to focus on you again. It's so much about focusing on you, your vision, and what you love to work at. And that doesn't mean like overwork yourself or burn yourself out. I don't see no one burning themselves out here in this. I see deliberate process in the right direction, but it's crucial that you know to not focus on, not give that power, not give your power away by letting yourself be energetically affected by that any longer. And it's as easy as making that choice to go back to your vision and be like, no, I go back to my vision. It's not, but what if so-and-so happens? It's go back to the vision and go back to why you started, yes, but also go back to remembering that your heart is pure in terms of what you're trying to achieve here. And that will also attract the right people. And whenever this comes up, you can decide not to listen to that voice or listen to those people, listen to those opinions, and draw in more of what gives you more drive to see the future even clearer, or to see it's like step by step. Is this all we have? Yeah, and I'm getting like real counterpart energy, but also someone who's supposed to shine, and supposed to shine for all the right and good reasons. Like there need to be more grounded, good people that do meaningful work, and you do meaningful work. Whether you are aware or not, you do very meaningful work. And if that doesn't feel as meaningful because you're like, well, to me that feels like I'm not in the grand scheme of things. Yes, you do. You're super important, pile number 2. And this reading is confirming that and letting us know. So this is different to pile number 1. Though you have the Star and the Fool, and that looks like star quality and looks like you're supposed to be recognized for certain things, but then the Queen of Pentacles, she's wearing a mask and she's hiding her face. So I think sometimes, especially when you go back to the drawing board and you try not to get distracted in terms of your vision and all of that. Yeah, vision, because she has these, it looks like, whatever, I'm gonna cut that part out. But when you do that, it's probably a good idea to sometimes just do that in private, so you get a good balance between getting recognition and doing things in private and achieving things in private that give you more stability as well, and also give you this internal drive that I think you innately have. Yeah, I think that's all I have, pile 2. And I hope it did resonate. And if it did, please make sure to give this reading a thumbs up. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you chose this deck, or this rose quartz crystal, then this is your reading. And before we begin, I am so grateful that you've chosen to join me for this reading. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me create more content that resonates with you. By liking this video, you can also help other people discover this reading and receive the guidance that they may need. So if you enjoy this reading, please take a moment to like it and share it with others who may benefit from it. It's the easiest way to support our community and my work. Thank you again for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Pile 3, what urgent message do you need to know right now? We have the Hermit upright, and bottom of the deck energy is Temperance. And then we have the Three of Swords in reverse, the Hierophant upright, the Tower upright, okay, the Five of Pentacles upright, okay, the Queen of Wands in reverse, and Strength in reverse, yes, okay, makes sense. Oh, the Eight of Swords in reverse, yes. Okay, and the Queen of Coins up. Exciting message. So your urgent message, I know if you are familiar with tarot, the cards you see, maybe, yeah, sometimes people get gut reactions to tarot cards, which I think are unnecessary, because what situation you're going through right now will be evident to you already. It's not something new that you don't know. So this is just spirit telling you something about the situation, or telling you something about your approach in dealing with what went down for you. So I think that quite recently you have been in some sort of heartbreak or heartache situation. I would rather say heartache situation when it comes to you, with the Three of Swords in reverse. And spirits hinting that this is due to insights you've gotten, downloads. And I would say there has been a major energetic shift. So things did come crumbling down. Something really rocked the boat here. And it even feels like something erupted. But it's more so that has been an internal process. Because I think this might have been a situation that went down. Like a actual scenario that brought things to an end, as you, like, for a situation that went on in the past. But I would say it is not quite literally that it was so much about the outward experience, but more so about what went down internally, that you finally realized something about a situation. So it feels more like an eruption, and something shifted inside of you, so that you saw something with a new mindset and with a new set of eyes, if you will. So this is really giving me this Three of Swords in reverse, and see how the volcanoes are depicted there, and the unicorn is connected to the sky and has these sparkles appearing. And this is almost like this tower moment came down. It comes down to you getting insight, you seeking some internal guidance, and it has been granted, and your whole energy and mindset shifted. And I would say that you're quite hard on yourself for how you viewed things in the past. And Spirit is somewhat reminding you that it's important to have solidarity with yourself and your past self. And yeah, you might have changed your mind and shifted your perception, but still there's like kindness needed in order to move this forward from a lens that will serve you. So this perception might have served you in the past, and it doesn't serve you now. And I think right now your focus goes to what is lost, with the Five of Pentacles upright and the burning heart, that like up the staircase leads to the burning heart, or up the ladder in this depiction. So this is giving me this notion of all is lost, nothing is safe. This took all of your stability, and it's a real gut response. With the Queen of Wands in reverse, I would say that what could be helpful, that Spirit's hinting to, is practice around your root chakra in order to feel stability again and perceive your life through a lens of stability again. And yeah, with Strength in reverse, it feels like, and the Queen of Wands in reverse, it feels as though you're trying to make new decisions or hasty actions in order to feel safe again. And I don't mean like safe quite literally. I don't think this is a real threat, but somewhat on a subconscious level, the situation is perceived by you to be a threat to your safety somewhat. So, and that doesn't need to be physical. It's probably more so financial, or just you perceiving time to be running out for something. And Spirit's saying there's no need to be extra strong right now, and there's no need for decisions that you may not be happy with in the future because they are due to a fight or flight reaction, if that makes sense. So it would be, yeah, we don't see what would be more beneficial to your situation, but Spirit's hinting that there's like prosperity lies ahead with the Eight of Swords. And I think this process of getting unstuck is more so one that is seeing the situation full picture and full circle, and allowing yourself to have that gut response to it, but something that Spirit's trying to tell me about the root chakra and the gut response in accordance, because see, in this Queen of Wands, we see in her like gut space, or even below, we see this infinity symbol, and we see this as well with the circle. So this is giving me letting a situation come full circle, and seeing it here. We see this continuation of the infinity symbol, and it's the Eight of Swords. So in reverse, it's getting unstuck, and we have the third eye being represented. So it's a perception of things that will get you unstuck, but it's a perception regarding the response to the situation and the coping mechanism in terms of the situation that you've come up with. And Spirit's very clear that prosperity lies ahead. And I would say that this is just a question of perception. And we can get some more clarifiers, because obviously I don't know. I don't see from these cards what that would be. But bottom of the deck, you had Temperance. And this is to reminding us not to, like, you don't need to be strong and moving like with extra force right now and come to hasty decisions. What is needed right now is to find balance in something that you recently learned about a situation, or about just, I think your life perception has drastically shifted due to what happened with this, like this internal process. We see 3 major arcana here, and this deck here is all major arcana, so it only has 22 cards, but we see 3 major arcana here from the normal deck, so next to each other, and they all remind us of what went down and what's going down right now in terms of an internal process and coping mechanism when it comes to the situation, and feeling loss, feeling a real sense of unease, and not a lot of stability. Okay, this is probably also a reminder to ground yourself, this Queen of Coins, a reminder of ground yourself in your internal and external abundance, anything that gives you the feeling of abundance that you can already enjoy. But yeah, let's get some clarifiers, because it's not all clear to us yet, at least to me. So how to deal with this situation, Spirit? What is the advice to the Eight of Swords in reverse, 3 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Cups? Very similar to a reading I did that was called What is Next for You in Love. Pile 2 was that, where this is reminding me of the theme going on, so you might want to check that out. What's Next for You in Love? And I think it was posted on the 3rd of May. And yeah, it, like pile 2 reminds me of the Page of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles, and yeah, just I think the 333, and yeah, the 3 of Swords definitely did come up in that reading. I might want to check that one out. I would say this is talking about learning to trust yourself again first, by tapping into an inner knowing that isn't condescending. And it does talk about root work when it comes to, your root chakra. See how this bow is also depicted in the same space of this woman in the Page of Cups, as is the infinity symbol with the circle. So Spirit's also reminding you that you don't create this new reality just by hasty actions. It's more so grounding yourself in a new awareness that will actually be fruitful for the future. But there's like prosperity lies ahead, but what is in order right now with the Three of Pentacles in reverse in conjunction to all that we see, this is talking about trusting yourself and working on that trust for yourself so you can trust others again. And that comes full cycle with what I was saying earlier regarding you being hard on yourself or a little extra harsh in regards of the old perception that you had around a person or a situation that did not bring the outcome that you wished it would. So things just went sour. But I would say mostly due to you just realizing that that was never what you wanted in the first place and feeling foolish for it. And Spirit saying there's no need to feel that way. It's learning to trust yourself again and learning to be kind to oneself and emotionally process what you went through. And it's really talking about workings around the root chakra, and you might want to read about it. But this feels like falling from grace or a perceived fall from grace. And then the perception that it takes your strength to regain a sense of trust and to regain a sense of integrity again. And Spirit's reminding us that that is actually not the case. What's in need here with the Queen of Coins and the Queen of Wands in reverse and the Page of Cups is grounding yourself in the abundance that you can already taste. I want to say taste, I don't know why, but that you can already, in the abundance that you can already experience, or that you have, that is surrounding you. And that's a shift of perception and allowing yourself to trust yourself, especially yourself again, and just a grounding process we see. I would want to see more because I feel as though it has been the quickest reading so far. So, and it's a little sad somewhat. I feel for you, Pile 3. I think it's just it seems supernatural to me to go through something like this. Sometimes, I mean, okay, that was quick. Knight of Earth, 8 of Fire, speed, activity, multitasking. Okay, so the Queen of Wands was then talking more about decisions regarding your life and finances, which is a current theme for you somewhat. And the 8 of Pentacles is now telling us that, what is the 8 of Pentacles telling us in reverse? Endings, recovery, freedom. For some of you, this is talking about not all is lost here. And sorry if you can hear my dog snort in the background. And the 8 of Fire is talking about moving forward with speed. But I think in terms of your situation, this is coming more so from outside, because we have the zoom out of the world in this card. So this bird perspective. So I think this is more so outside force, though that would usually be depicted by the Ace of Wands. But in terms of stability, it seems as though, actually let's further clarify that one. Okay, I was thinking about that, but this for some of you, and I don't know your situation, obviously, like your specific situation, but for some of you, see with this ending in reverse and the recovery and freedom in reverse here with the 10 of Air and the Knight of Earth in reverse, organized, responsible, supportive, especially in conjunction here with Judgment. And there were other cards just hinting that, the Queen of Wands in reverse and Strength in reverse. That for some of you, not all is lost in the situation that you perceive to have ended. For some of you, the situation is calling for you to have faith and treat it less extreme and more so balanced, have a balanced approach, and view how things are going to evolve. So I would want to clarify the Eight of Fire upright. Why is Spirit doing that to us? Okay, so this is the Four of Pentacles. I would say it's talking about not being so pressed in terms of an outcome in the situation, but letting things evolve naturally. And by doing so, they will evolve naturally. And I would say with the Hermit, this is talking about, especially in conjunction to the Two of Cups underneath that. So for some of you, this is really talking about where you may be thinking that things are doomed and may not return. And I don't like to say that. Actually, it's like hard for me to say, because I feel as though some people will watch this and then identify with this, and it may not be about them. So, because it's a general reading, and to say like trust in the situation, if that didn't bring you stability in the past, I'm not gonna. But if you have hope and there's like tangible aspects in believing and thinking that things could turn around and be good again with a certain person, or in terms maybe of like your job situation, but I would say for the majority, this is definitely talking about love. And yeah, we see that everywhere. So I would say that it is a reading about a partner, or just someone you trusted and someone that was very special to you. And with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, this is talking about not being so pressed in terms of an outcome, that things evolve naturally, and let things evolve naturally. And if someone is trying to come correct, then let that happen. This is also talking about incorporating a good amount of self-care, but also of organizing. Things seem to be unorganized as of right now, and it's definitely talking about not all is lost here, and something in conjunction to the time aspect I was talking about earlier is very significant here, though I cannot remember what Spirit was telling me about that one. But we see it with the 10 of Air in reverse here. I would say this is talking about get yourself unstuck from feeling like you've made such a terrible choice, and the perception you have surrounding this eruption and this inner shift, and you may keep things open to start again, but don't be so pressed on an outcome. Find new stability either way, but I would say stability in the Knight of Earth in reverse is again reminding me of a gut response. And let's clarify the Knight of Earth in reverse again. So I would say that your whole perception and your whole response is due to feeling unease in terms of stability, and feeling there is no stability. And this is directly like above the Strength in reverse. So Three of Swords again, upright. Yeah, again, I would with the Three of Swords again, but the depiction is very interesting here because see, she's holding a heart and it's stabbed. I would say that you feel quite literally backstabbed by someone, and Spirit saying not all is lost, but don't be pressed on an outcome. Just let things evolve. But what's necessary right here, see how in all the depictions, this is hinting to a gut response. The Queen of Coins is holding the coin in her gut space. The Three of Swords, the heart is in a gut space here. And with the depiction of the Page of Cups, gut space, the Queen of Wands in reverse, it was gut space. I think this is talking about allowing yourself to feel what you feel in order for things to move smoothly again. And let's get one more. Yeah, no, one more. I was like, okay, why did they fly out right away? Okay, there we go. Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands. Yeah, don't come to like hasty decisions in terms of, I think you're trying to come to hasty decisions in terms of trying to feel safe again and trying to feel stable again and trying to count your losses and hold on to a situation, hold on to what you have right now or what you perceive to have right now. And Spirit saying like there is like a need to be cautious in when coming to decisions that you may regret later. and carrying unnecessary burdens and further rocking the boat by forming decisions which are out of alignment with the Hermit and Temperance, Judgment in reverse. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Pile number 3. I hope it did resonate, and if it did, please give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye!